Hey everyone, this is Daniel with the Rented Bros, and today we're going to be reviewing the August Smart Lock. And we also have a keypad accessory. We're going to tell you the pros and cons of it, what we like, what we don't like, whether you should get one. So let's get into the video. First off, the reason I was in the market for a August Smart Lock, or a Smart Lock in general, was because I have an Airbnb, and so what we wanted to do was have a way to add codes that were unique per guest and have the ability to send those codes automatically. Having a keypad for a guest to check in, I don't know if all of you guys have experienced Airbnb, but having to deal with a key or just in general anything other than a smart keypad is less enjoyable of an experience for a guest. So we wanted to get a smart lock that would allow us to make the process of checking in, checking out very seamless. So we found the August Smart Lock, which allows us to do all of what we were hoping to do. So pro number one is that it allows us to connect the August Smart Lock app to Airbnb's app. So whenever we receive a booking and accept that booking, it automatically sends that guest a code, a unique code that they can punch into our keypad, and it's only active during their time period of their stay. So if they check out and then want to use that code again to try to sneak back into the house, they cannot because their booking is over. So that's an awesome feature. It gives more security. That's an awesome feature. It gives more security to the home in general. So that is a huge pro. Number two, we can create unique codes for as many different people as we want. So for Airbnb, we have cleaners and people who might take care of the property if we're away. So I can create a unique code for each and every person that I want and set a unique schedule for that code to be active. So if I want it to be active during the hours of 9 to 5 every day, I could do that. If I want it to be active all the time for my cleaners, I can choose what code that is, 4 digits or 5 digits or 6 digits. I can create a unique code for each person. Pro number three is that this smart lock, since it's the original, it's still available, it still works great, but it's available for a lower price than some of your more newer models. This one costs about $150 for the smart lock itself, and then for the keypad that goes along with it, might cost you another $40 or $50 depending on where you get it. So all in, I was about $200 for the whole system. And you can spend a lot more than that on smart locks. Some of their newer August Lock models are around $250, something like that. So I didn't want to spend quite that much, and I really like this one, so I just decided to go with the original. Okay, so I just wanted to point out one detail that's going to be really important, and it's this guy right here. This is the Wi-Fi bridge, and essentially what he does is he allows the smart lock to bridge to the Wi-Fi network. This does not have the ability to connect to the Wi-Fi directly, so you need this Wi-Fi bridge if you want to use features like remote unlocking and remote locking from anywhere in the world, or if you want to have the feature where Airbnb gets to sync with the lock and send automatic codes to guests as they book. I believe that those two features specifically can only work if you have this Wi-Fi bridge. Pro number four is that this lock is really rigid. It's built really well, it's solid aluminum. On the inside of the door, you have the actual smart lock. It's made of solid aluminum, it's very rigid construction. It attaches directly to the deadbolt. What you do is you just remove the interior portion of your deadbolt and then attach the August lock. You don't remove the exterior portion. So you can see on my door here that you still have the quick set lock with the key slot, but on the inside I actually have a smart lock. So the nice thing about that, which leads me to pro number five, is that this allows you to use either the smart system or a key system whenever you choose to. I can manually open my door with a key. Let's say my batteries die on the lock just because I wasn't doing a good job of keeping up with the replacing the batteries every 6 months or something like that. I can just plug my key in there and open it up, and I'm not locked out of my house. All right, so tip. If you use a smart lock on your door, this one attaches, like I said, to the deadbolt. you're gonna wanna make sure that that is the only locking mechanism that you have on your door, because you run the risk, if you have multiple locks, like a lot of people will have a handle lock or a knob lock, and then the deadbolt. But you run the risk of locking yourself out of your house if you accidentally lock the knob from the inside, pull the door shut, leave the house, come back without your key, punch in your code, it unlocks the deadbolt, but you have to have your key if you want to unlock the knob. So I would recommend using something like a passage knob where it does not have a key slot, so that the only locking mechanism is on the deadbolt itself. Another great thing about this keypad is that it's backlit. So when someone arrives at the house at night and it's dark out, you can just press anything on the keypad and it brings the backlight up, and then you can type in your code, whatever that is, and then press the logo at the bottom to submit it. Okay, so pro number 6. This smart lock was so easy to install. It has these flanges here, so I can just pop it off and show you. But basically, I removed the interior portion of the deadbolt, and then I took this plate that they gave with the kit, and I put that on there, screwed it in, and they also have these different size adapters, because different locks use different types of mechanisms. And this one's quick set, so I used this quick set adapter that they gave me with the kit, and then you just take this portion, put batteries in it, and throw it on there, and then it has these little flanges. You just close it in and it locks it on there. So now that it's installed, I can either operate it manually from the inside, I can use a key on the outside manually, or I can use the keypad, or I can use the app. Now, let's talk about the app. So we have our keychain here, which has the different locks on it. I have one for the Airbnb, one for our house, and if I tap this, it'll show you the red circle, which means it's closed and it's locked. Watch this. I'm gonna tap on the circle. How cool is that? That is pretty awesome. So it's asking me to review it. I'm saying it's going great, so cool. No thank you, I'm not gonna review it now. But now it's got a green circle, hollow circle. When I open the door, watch what happens in the app. It shows me that it's unlocked and open. Now that's significant because if my door is hanging open, it'll show me right here and it'll tell me on the app that my door is ajar. The reason for that is because there's one extra little feature. This is a little sensor, and we put this into the door. It comes with the unit, and this allows my door, my lock, to know when the door is open, when it's closed, and that's really helpful for using the app. Also, if I lock it while it's open, it'll show me it's not a full solid circle, so that means there's an issue. If I try to close this and it's locked, obviously you're gonna have that happen. But this is just a security feature showing me that my door is locked, but it's hanging wide open. So I'm gonna, deal with that, make sure that someone can close the door for me, and then I'll go ahead and lock it. Now I've got the full red circle, place is secure. The way that you connect this app to Airbnb is you just tap this little button. It says works with. You go to that, and then you click on Airbnb, and then it takes you over to this one, and you can select which locks you would like to use for which listings on Airbnb. It allows you to automate the process of creating new codes for guests so that it saves you all that extra time, and that is such an awesome feature. Okay, so for this, in the app, this is the settings. I have my lock settings here, and this one I have, you can actually use an auto unlock feature, which allows you to set up location services, and that will, essentially what happens is if you're driving towards your house and you're within like a few hundred feet, it'll actually unlock your front door of your house because it recognizes that you're getting home after work or after coming home from the gym or something like that. It'll unlock the door, so you just walk right up to your front door. Door's already unlocked. You open it up, close it behind you, and it'll lock behind you. So right here is the power saving mode, and as you can see, it is turned on. I have a one-touch lock enabled, which is essentially I can press the red logo, the August logo at the bottom of my keypad, and it locks the door. And this is just showing me that the keypad is enabled for this lock. Okay, so another very cool thing about this app is that it has a auto lock setting, which means that I can tell it to lock after a certain amount of time of not being used. Okay, so I just wanted to point out one detail that's going to be really important, and it's this guy right here. This is the Wi-Fi bridge, and essentially what he does is he allows the smart lock to bridge to the Wi-Fi network. This does not have the ability to connect to the Wi-Fi directly, so you need this Wi-Fi bridge if you want to use features like remote unlocking and remote locking from anywhere in the world, or if you want to have the feature where Airbnb gets to sync with the lock and send automatic codes to guests as they book. I believe that those two features specifically can only work if you have this Wi-Fi bridge. But I just wanted to mention real quick that they have the satin nickel. They also have the dark gray. It's kind of like a almost a black sort of color, and then the silver. So I had originally purchased the satin nickel thinking it would match my hardware. This is more of like a brushed nickel color, and this is more of like a chrome. So if you have like a QuickSet in chrome, that's what you'll want to get. And if you have like a brushed nickel hardware, then you'll want this one. But you have a couple different options to try to match the type of hardware that you have on your door or around your house. Okay, so now we're going to talk about some of the cons, and this is the first one: the battery life. On the keypad especially, you can open it up and see there's two AAA batteries. This lock, if you don't set it on battery saver mode, it'll last for about a month and a half or 2 months, which means for an Airbnb host, you'll be changing batteries very often, and that gets to be annoying, very annoying. So what I'd recommend is use quality batteries and use the battery saver mode, which extends the battery life to about 3 months if you're lucky. But 3 months is a lot better than 1 month. Still too short in my opinion. I would have rather to have a slightly bigger keypad and have two AA batteries so that I could last maybe for 6 months on a single charge. But battery life is an issue. All right, so con number 2 is that this battery cap is just held on by a little magnet, and I haven't had a ton of issues, but the first few times I used it or bumped into it, you know, that just tends to pop off, and I wouldn't say it's a huge issue, but it's just one of those things. Kind of wish it was on a little better. Okay, so those are the pros and cons of the August Smart Lock, and I really hope that you enjoyed this video. If you're in the market for a smart lock, use those pros and cons to determine whether the August lock is right for you. It was for us, and I think you'll be really pleased if you decide to get one for yourself. But anyways, if you liked this video, please give us a like down below and comment. And as always, if you want to see more great content like this, subscribe to our channel, and we'll see you in the next video.